Bria. Oh my God, I will get so derailed. Oh man, I've said it on the show, but that was the only song I demanded our DJ play at the wedding. I was like, you have to play. What's good? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Newest Olympian. My name is Mike Schubert. I'm the titular Newest Olympian. I'm a 33-year-old man who never read the Percy Jackson books as a kid, but I read them as an adult because I was on a quest to determine if society had been sleeping on the series. I said yes, and now I'm seeing if society has been sleeping on the now completed second season of the TV show, and I'm here joined by a very special guest,
Hello.
Someone who finally has gotten screener access joining my fancy pants crew. We got it for this season, and thus, for the finale, we've got our very own Sherry Guo. Sherry, how's it going?
It's going well. It was my birthday last week,
Happy
so
birthday.
Still like coming off from the celebration of myself. I went ice skating, went to the museum, karaoke. That was a blast. Absolute best time.
Crushed. I could not attend the karaoke. It looked like so much fun, and you'll have to do it again in the future so that I can
For sure.
come through.
I love karaoke. We had light up tambourines, disco lights. I go all out for karaoke.
As you should.
Can't sing for the life of me. Needed those
Doesn't
background
matter.
vocals, but it's okay. It was my birthday, so everyone had to listen to me.
Yes. What was your most powerful ballad of the evening? I do know you texted me that you did the What's New Scooby-Doo theme.
Yeah, Robert actually queued that one up. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I put the Pokemon theme song after that. But no, my like go-to karaoke song is Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone.
Yes.
Love that
Really
song
good.
so much. And Nobody by Mitski.
Okay. I don't know if I know that song.
It's like nobody. It's just nobody a lot.
Okay. No, look, it's very on brand for what we're doing
It's
today.
an upbeat song, but the lyrics are kind of sad, which the way I listen to music, I'm not a lyrics person. And the vibe is good. So to me, it's like a happy song. I once suggested we play that at a friend's birthday, and they were like, no, that's going to make me cry. And I was like, Mitski's sad music? Oh, I wasn't aware.
Oops.
Also,
My bad.
Mitski dropped new music today. I love her so much. She is just an artist through and through. Like, you can see so much thought into everything, the visual language, the sound production. I saw her in concert last year. Incredible experience. Just the whole production design, beautiful. It was more than a concert. It was a religious experience, essentially.
I get it. I've seen Carly Rae Jepsen live. So let's talk about this episode. Let's also give some important context. If it sounds like it's early in the morning and I didn't get a lot of sleep and I'm in an echoey hotel room in Melbourne, Australia, that's because that's exactly what went down. I'm in a fun timeline where I was working hard to finish the edit of the last episode, which I had to do from start to finish because recorded it too late to give you enough time to edit it. So I powered through doing the Liam episode, did that, finished it last night, uploaded, then had a rough night with the baby waking up in the middle of the night, which then rolled into me watching this episode and then having to prep all the notes and stuff in disjointed parts and not having lots of sleep. And then later, once we finish this recording, I'll be playing cricket with a lovely TNO listener named Meg who offered to show me the ropes of cricket while in town. And then I'm doing the TNO live show. So many wild things happening. I am very excited though. Even if I sound tired internally, I'm so stoked because this finale ruled.
Did the show sell out?
At the time of recording this is the morning of it. There's like 6 tickets left. So I would imagine that we will sell it out, which would be very cool. So we can have another allocation exhausted show, which is the way they say it over here. And I absolutely love it. They don't say like
Allocation exhausted.
Oh, look, I'll let you catch the heat and the flack. The key for Australian is you got to do the up at the ends. You got to be like, the allocations are exhausted.
Oh, everything's a question. Okay. That's where my Australian accent kind of struggles. My Australian and New Zealand accent kind of blend into each other.
That's the tricky balance.
Like the New Zealand accent is a bit more forward. That was not good.
The nasally
I
was there.
only know how to do these accents from mimicking Taskmaster contestants.
Of course. Yeah. That's definitely the way to do it. Yeah. Apparently allocation exhausted is just like the thing that would show up on a website the error message is very common, but actually referring to it, you refer to it as a sold out show. But yes, I'm hoping that the allocations become exhausted for the Melbourne show today. Let's talk about the now publicly available finale of season 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which rips. It's really good. It's a fun one. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I'm very excited to be talking about this episode.
Yeah.
Mainly for the post-credit scene.
Okay. In a positive way or a negative way?
In a positive way. I'm obsessed with Cersei.
Okay.
She's a wellness guru cult queen.
It's a really fun interpretation, but the Heroes of Olympus reader in me is like, Hilla's backstory. Oh no.
Oh, see,
it's been destroyed.
The way my memory works, it's more breadth than depth. Mm-hmm. So I've read these books quite a few times. It kind of goes in one ear and out the other, where I remember all the main points, but I'm not thinking about all the little specifics. So I actually don't mind when they change things, because I'm like, I don't remember if this happened this way in the book or not. This is fun.
Mm-hmm. I usually don't mind either. I'm just thinking specifically, if they are going to make a Heroes of Olympus show, they're going to have to either rework this or add something else, or just say that the canon of this show is not the same as the canon of that show. But we'll get into that later. That's the post-credit scene. Let's get into the actual show, which begins with the Thalia flashback. And I was like, oh, okay, so we're going to actually see what went down.
They've really been making the most of this flashback scene.
Yeah.
Every episode, they have a little snippet of it.
There's a lot of the flashback, and then in particular, there's one cut from it that they've used at least twice, with the Furies landing in and then the 4 of them kind of turning around.
And like little Annabeth like, what?
Mm-hmm. They definitely got some real estate out of that shot. And I get it. I think they're really trying to set up the next season of it all. And I'm intrigued the way in which they handled the Thalia stuff this episode. I think is very, very interesting. And it makes me want to have a lengthy discussion with the showrunners about it, because I get where they're going with it. It feels very much like they're trying to use this episode as like, get ready for season 3, everybody.
Yeah. And I think the second book did cut off quite abruptly too.
Yes. Like, I wonder how I would have felt reading the second book not knowing that there was more to come. Because the second one, when I read it, I feel like I got to reading Titan's Curse like the next day, because it was just really like, oh, wow, Thalia's here. Oh, it's over. Okay, we're back. And now we're best friends with Thalia, ? So I understand what the show's going for, and I'm intrigued to hear people who work on the show talk about what they were going for. But yeah, they're using the flashback again. We're starting to see what's going on, and we see a little bit more in that Thalia tells Luke not to stop, says that she's going to slow down the Furies, and that he needs to make sure Annabeth is safe. She again reiterates this line of, we take care of our own.
I feel like that's the central theme of this season, because Percy uses it too later on in the episode. Mm-hmm. The whole season really is about loyalty.
Yeah, I think the first season, the big thing was monsters might not be everything they seem. The gods might not be everything they seem. And then this one is your loyalty. I mean, even in the last episode, we have Kronos angrily telling Luke to prove his loyalty in the negative sense. So yeah, it's a good call. It's a very good call. So she sends Luke and the other 2 off. And then I do love how British they have made Thalia, because she goes up to them and goes, come on, then you wanted a fight? I'll give you one. Like, it just really, it's good. It's really,
the trash
really
talk is going to be good between her and Percy.
It's going to be really fun. And there's just something, the extra level of her having an accent is something I never considered while reading the books, but it does just make them feel more opposed. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't even talk the same. They look different. They act different. They dress different. They talk different.
And now New Zeus is American.
I know. Oh. Ooh. So this is what this establishes. This is a very good and important question. New Zeus is American. Not that old Zeus wasn't, Lance Reddick, but New Zeus.
Did he not have a British accent?
No, he was just Lance Reddick, where he just talks in this awesome.
Just talk like old.
Yeah, like Lance Reddick. I don't know how to describe the way he speaks aside from cool and powerful. But yeah, like Lance Reddick is just this very deliberate, kind of old school, very hard enunciating talking. But he's got, like, I don't know.
He did seem much more of like a timeless, immortal being than the recast.
Yeah, recast does feel like kind of like what I envision more stylistically. It's very much like the, early 1900s gangster kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And like the bowler hat, I think, does that really well.
The bowler hat.
The bowler hat. Mm-hmm.
It also reminds me of, if anyone has seen the series of Unfortunate Events, Netflix series,
Read the books, not seen the
Mr.
show.
Poe character.
Okay.
But also has a bowler hat.
Okay.
That character is just a character.
Look, I'll take your word for it. I loved those books. So Yeah, I was very surprised to see Zeus. I mean, gosh, we're going to get into that. There's so much. It's so hard.
Yeah, did they ever announce the recasting?
They did. They announced the recasting, but it was also in the midst of them. No, I think they did it before they started doing the season 3 stuff. Because I feel like when they announced it, I was like, oh, there must be some sort of like very brief thing of it where they had to announce it. So what this establishes with him being American is that Thalia's mom would be British, and that would mean that Jason Grace's mom is also British. So that would mean all-American boy Jason Grace, as I like to establish him on the show, would be British.
I feel like I saw some interview that Tamara Smart did where she said, oh, we're still going to try to make it work. Like, thinking the future, obviously there's nothing greenlit, but her mom in the canon of it moves from the UK to the US to try to make it in Hollywood or something.
Yeah.
So that makes Jason still potentially all-American boy.
Oh, so he's all-American, but he could still have a British accent. Oh, yeah.
Or like just British mom, American accent.
Oh, yeah, right. He's still fully American. It's the thing that I'm sure you get a lot as an Asian woman, which is people asking you, no, where are you from?
Where are you really from? Like, Kentucky is where I was born. Maryland is where I grew up. What else do you want me to say? I don't speak the language. I'm sorry. I grew up in a white suburb, and my family's never really gone back to China as a family. So we're actually going this summer finally. We got all of our travel paperwork done. It was a headache that I don't need to get into on the pod, but it's all sorted now. It just took a lot of calls to the embassy.
Look, I'm glad you got it all sorted out, and I hope you never have to hear the thing that I'm sure you get all the time of the, but where are you from, with emphasis on from. Super fun and cool, and a question no one should ever ask anyone ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when I'm like, oh, my heritage is Chinese, but like I don't really feel like culturally very Asian, like let's just not have this conversation. I'd like to not. Yeah.
I don't think any of my listeners would think to ever do this. This is more of a unintelligent person thing.
Yeah. I will say though, I feel like since college, this never happened in high school, since college and like afterwards, a lot of times Korean people will just come up to me and start speaking Korean. And maybe I look Korean or something, because apparently my dad gets it too and my sister started getting it.
Okay.
But it's always weird. It's like, oh no, like I'm not even Korean. Like, I'm so sorry. I wish I could help you, but no.
Oh my gosh. Wild. Well, anyway, Percy Jackson. So she's super British. She wants to bring the fight to them. And then we cut to Percy in the car, kind of zoning out, thinking about what Annabeth had told him about the great prophecy, while it flashes between him looking out the window and the scenes from Thalia in his dream. They also get a lot of mileage out of this shot with the big lightning flash zoom in on Thalia, which maybe I'm being a little nitpicky here. They showed it so many times, and the zoom in's really close up, and the flashing and stuff. Like, was it just me, or did this look like a little cheesy after a while? Like, she's in the hood and the lightning flash. Like, of all
I know
the things
it's a
in this
kid's
episode,
show,
I think it's beautifully shot. But the only thing I was like, oh, she's so scary. She's in a hood and lightning is flashing. Ooh.
Yeah.
If that's my biggest critique, we're doing great. Sally snaps Percy out of it.
I love how much Sally's in the season.
It's good.
Because outside of camp, she's Percy's entire world. So she is really important. Yeah. Her whole presence really dictates a lot of his decisions. She's like very important in his life.
Yeah, I think it's really good. She snaps him out of it, and then he is talking with her and gets her to slam on the brakes because he sees Blackjack, and Percy goes, I know him, and leaves to talk to Blackjack. And Sally goes, he knows him, just in this great, well, yeah, my son's a demigod kind of comment.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, I guess, sure, why not?
Yep, the sure why not energy is strong. And she has this little comment where she says something about the burden that he's carrying, and Annabeth makes a comment about how Thalia can lighten Percy's burden, and Tyson is surprised that the great prophecy would be about Thalia and not Percy, and Sally goes, there's a prophecy, and Grover says, isn't there always
Is Panic's
one?
like, oh no, absolutely not.
I love that Grover continues to try and lie to Sally, like she's not going to see through it and figure out the truth.
As if he didn't reach out to her first to be like, hey, by the way, it's time for Percy to come to camp.
Right. So Percy comes back, he knocks on the window, and he relays that Blackjack told him Clarice never made it to the tree because of all the surrounding monsters. She continued onward on foot. So the kids head in, Sally tries to follow. Percy talks her out of joining, citing that couple feet up the road he saw the Minotaur situation go down, so he doesn't want to see that again.
A lot of good good nonverbal acting here.
Really good stuff. Just like facial expressions, saying things with the tone in which they say stuff without actually saying it deliberately. Ugh, really good stuff for both of them.
Showing, not telling.
Showing, not telling. Yay,
and if anyone
thanks.
wants a good showing, not telling, watch Heated Rivalry. I finally watched it this past week.
I'm so happy for everyone. I have not watched it. And then I shared one meme from it, not because it was Heated Rivalry, but because it spoke to me. It was the two boys from the Heated Rivalry. And one said, my imposter syndrome. And the other one said, me thinking I'm better than everyone else.
That's literally me.
That is definitely me with podcasting.
I felt so old when I found out they're both younger than me.
Oh, yes. Welcome.
One of them only by like a month, but still, I was like, oh my God.
Welcome to this phase, because you're 26 now?
I just turned 26, yeah.
Welcome to your late 20s.
Last year, my parents' health insurance. We'll be making the most of that.
Welcome to your late 20s, where you start seeing this happen. This happened to me with sports a little earlier because people come into the league at 18. For me, when I turned 26, that was like when people start to... If you don't have your place solidified in the NBA by 26, it's like, oh, he's a lost cause. So that was a big one. Now I'm at 33 at the point where, like, if anyone's still in the league past 33, it's impressive. And you get to hear people be like, the things that he's doing at age 34 are really impressive. Like, oh no. And then soon I will be like comparing myself to coaches. Yeah, you're gonna get there. It's fine.
Yeah, I also was keeping up with the women's U.S. figure skating championships last week.
Brady Tennell, Tino's own Brady Tennell.
Right, yeah. And the first place girl, Amber Glenn, she's apparently going to be like the oldest U.S. like figure skating Olympian. And she's literally my age. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't say that. I know the other girls are like 18, 19, 20, but like, come on.
This happened with the United States women's soccer team, which I love and have loved for many, many years. But this was like when Lo LaBonta got in and they were like, oh, she's the oldest person ever to either like start or check in or whatever. And she's a year younger than me. Like, she was born in March 1993, and they're like, look at Lo LaBonta, this old ass decrepit piece of crap.
Look at this old hag.
Look at this old hag who got to play on the women's national team. It's like, she's a year younger than me. Oh no.
Yeah. All the commentators are like, you know, you wouldn't believe the only person doing a triple axel is the 26-year-old. And I'm like, that's not old.
Welcome aboard. It's fun. Welcome. But yeah, so how did we get on this Heated Rivalry? We somehow got on it. Anyway, I shared this meme and it spoke to me just because I'll have things with podcasts where I'll be like, oh, you know, I'm so grateful to be here. So humble. It's just me talking about books on a podcast. And then the other part of me is like, my podcast is so good. Like, this podcast is so good. Have you ever listened to it? Have you ever listened to other podcasts and then listened to ours? Like, it's so good.
The sound quality is really good.
Yeah. Look, the thing, I say it all the time and it brings me so much joy when people say, oh, I can't listen to other podcasts because of how good TNO sounds. It gives me life force. That's my picture of Dorian Gray thing, where, you know, what's keeping me, people are like, oh my gosh, Mike, you are 33, but you don't look that old. Yeah, what gets rid of my crow's feet is ruining podcasts for other people. And I guess there's like an evil hard drive in my attic, you know, that has all the sins of all the things we edit out, all of the mouth clicks, all the mouth noises. They just go onto this evil hard drive in my attic. God, I love the picture of Dorian Gray. What a book. What a performance by Sarah Snook when it came through to Broadway. Oh,
I was unable to see it.
I'm so sorry.
But I heard very good things.
It was really good. It was really good. Johnny and I went to see it and then just screamed about how good it was for the 45-minute subway ride home. Just like, bah! She's so talented. It's great. It was great. All right. Anyway, Percy Jackson, we're talking about it. I promise. So basically, Percy talks Sally out of it. And I like that he's able to do so. I like that Sally respects Percy as a person, because I think this is a tricky thing for parents to do. My parents did it for me, which is really great. And I hope to do it for my daughter, is when your kids get to a certain age, you have to accept that they are people, that they are adults. You don't have say over everything. And Percy asks for something and it's very valid of him to do so. And Sally agrees and goes along with it and doesn't just pull the I'm your mother card, which is awesome. But then she does pull the different I am your mother card because she knows that Percy is worried about more than just her, is worried about himself. So they have a little heart to heart there. And Percy basically relays that the coin dream, the whole two sides of the same coin thing, he's worried that it's about him and Thalia, not necessarily about just him. So interesting stuff.
What was your take on that? Because I didn't fully get the coin metaphor in the first episode. And I was thinking, oh, like maybe they're trying to say it's about balance and not like choosing sides necessarily.
Initially, I thought it was the Percy two sides of the same coin thing. What is intriguing to me about it is that it is the Poseidon trident on one side and the scythe on the other. So it still feels very Percy-ish to me. I kind of feel like it still could be about Percy, and this is just Percy worrying about Thalia, as he did in the book and as he's been doing in the show. I think he could just be misinterpreting this. I think it still is kind of about Percy, how he could go the good god route of the gods, Poseidon, or he could go the bad route of the Titans with Kronos, because I don't feel like if it's about him and Thalia, I don't think it makes sense because she's not Kronos' side and we know what she becomes. So I kind of feel like it's just Percy worrying and misinterpreting it, like will often happen with prophecies in the series. So that's where I'm at. I personally don't think it's about him and Thalia. I think it's still about him, and I think that he's just being worried.
Okay.
Especially if they keep using this dream motif throughout the show, it could just be something where he's worried about it now. Thalia gets ruled out because that gets ruled out pretty quickly over the course of the third one. It's kind of like, oh, is it Thalia?
By the end of the third one, she takes herself out of the running.
Exactly. So they could keep doing the coin thing.
And he's kind of already chosen to be the prophecy child.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he definitely did in the books too, where he was like, no, it's about me. Like, yeah, this Thalia thing is cute, but everything's about me. I'm Percy Jackson. So... yeah, I think where it's currently at is just a misinterpretation. I don't think there's a way that actually would put Thalia in a position where she would be Poseidon. And the only other thing I could think is that the Poseidon trident just represents Olympus.
Like gods versus titans.
Right, because at this point, Percy still has not heard that last line. He has not heard the very ending of the prophecy, which is you're either going to save it or raise it. And I feel like... the only way you could say that the coin is about Thalia too is if trident just represents gods. So it's not necessarily about Percy. It's about just the people in the running can either take one of the two sides. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But he's worried. Sally lets him go on. And then we continue onward with trying to save camp. Now we cut to...
I'm so happy about this.
It's so good. Like I figured...
more Tantalus.
I knew Tantalus was going to come back. I didn't think it was going to be in this way. I really hope I can secure an interview with Timothy Simons, who I was too scared to talk to at the premiere because I think he's very funny.
He is really tall.
He's so tall, and it definitely lends itself to the fear of me going up to him. Like, and I'm 6 feet tall. Like, it's hard to, with someone so tall, not just like go up to him at the thing and be like, "Hello, I'd like to derail everything you're doing right now. Can you please talk to me?" I just felt bad, and I hope that I will be able to interview him because he's so nice and cool, and I think he's very funny, and I'm so glad that he was back for this. It was great. And he is giving this rousing speech about how he used to be a charioteer.
What a theater adult.
Theater adult.
He's here for the spectacle. He's here for the drama of it all. He does not care about anything else. He's like, I'm the most important person in the world right now.
Yep.
I need entertainment.
Yeah, it's really good. So he's trying to get everybody to clean the track. Chris Rodriguez comes up and he interrupts to say that a third giant in 3 days broke through the border. He says that they need
as
to
if he doesn't know he's the
patrol.
one letting them in.
Yeah, okay. So did you right away clock that he was going to be evil in this episode? Because he kind of had me fooled. He's so goody, I got to save the camp here, that the whole time this was going on, I was like, oh, they're going to have to do some work to undo how much we like Chris Rodriguez.
No, I knew he was going to backstab because, partly because in the books, he is Luke's like main person in camp until he actually leaves camp and then it becomes Selena. But he was giving too much of like, I found this club and I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't like it.
Yeah. Once he went on the patrol with Clarice, I started doubting it. But in this scene in particular with Tantalus, I was like, oh, okay. I wonder what's going to happen with Chris that makes him break bad because he feels bought in. So it was well done. Had me fooled up until it becomes even more obvious.
I'm wondering if part of it is Clarice decided to go on her quest alone and didn't take him because he was originally picked.
Oh.
Maybe that was the final straw for him.
Ooh.
Because I think he was already Luke's contact in between events of the 2 seasons. But I feel like that might have been the final turning point of, I finally got chosen for a quest and now I'm stuck here at camp.
Yeah, look, that could be it. That could be it. I'm intrigued to see how they develop his character. He's going to be important.
The defining thing about Luke that they really set up was he cares so much about glory. and truly nothing else. He doesn't care about doing the right thing. He just wants the glory. Whereas Percy doesn't not care about that. He still kind of wants to prove stuff to his dad, and same with Annabeth wanting to prove stuff to Athena, but they care more so about loyalty and integrity.
Yeah. No, I totally see it. They're where I think I'm at, which I've talked about on Potterless with like what led me in Gryffindor is like they want to do the right thing. So that makes you either Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. But then do you want to get credit for doing the thing? Yeah, that's what made me Gryffindor and not Hufflepuff. Like, yes, I would like to save the day. And I would like everyone to know that I saved the day. And for people to give me a tiny little trophy for saving the day. So yeah, I think I was also a little thrown because with the introduction of Allison, I was thinking, okay, we have Luke's right-hand person set for now, and maybe something will happen to her, and then Chris will swoop in. But no, look, they had me. So yeah, he wants to save the camp.
I feel like they're setting up Allison as not Luke's right-hand person, but a Luke op to be like Kronos' number one person.
Oh, like keep Luke loyal, otherwise you're going to be
yeah,
my new
because
Luke, Nuke.
She doesn't have the connection to Thalia that Luke does. She just cares about serving Kronos.
Yeah. As I had predicted in the previous episode, I thought she was going to die in this episode. I did not have high hopes for her. So when she made it out alive, I was surprised.
I really want to know what her backstory is because I feel like she has deep beef with Annabeth in particular. And I want to know what went wrong there.
I think probably it's going to be a little Selena Beauregard-y. I bet she has a crush on Luke, and Luke has, not necessarily a crush on Annabeth, but so much attention to Annabeth, and it's a little bit, look at me and my cool hair flips that I've been doing all season. I love them, genuinely love them. The little, they're very sassy and lovely, and they suit her character very well. So Chris to Tantalus says that there's not going to be any camp to have. Why are we trying to restore the track for races? And Tantalus says, you've never seen a real siege, goes all back in my day on them and starts talking about how they picked up weapons, and he grabs a turkey leg. And then he's freaking out because he can grab the turkey leg, and he says, oh, the gods have lifted my curse because I was right. And then a fireball goes straight for his face and he goes, oh,
comedy
come on.
is back.
Poofed away. Comedy is back this season, folks.
I know it's for dramatic effect, but if that happened to me, I would be digging into that turkey leg immediately. I would not be waiting for the fireball to hit me in the face. If I'm going to die again, I will be taking a last bite of meat.
Yeah, gotta go out eating. Gotta go out. They died doing what they loved, eating. So then it shows a bit of a conflicted Chris R. And this is where my immediate thought was, oh, wow, okay. When are they going to have him break bad? Oh, he is. He has broken bad. We will see. So we cut to Bronte leading a weak-ass defense force.
Where's Lee Fletcher?
Dead already?
Why is Bronte leading the archers?
Yeah, that was my big question. Why is Bronte leading the archers? You're a child of Athena, not a child of Apollo. Where's Michael Yu at? Like, I can understand if she's supposed to be planning, wisdom, Athena, battle-ready person. I get it. But it seems like there were only archers and they didn't really plan well, given that they were firing, and then later on they do a terrible job. So my Bronte stock, not stoked on it. I wasn't stoked on it when she was like, Annabeth, we make a good team. You should bring me on the quest. It's like, you just lost the chariot race. I don't know. Not big on Bronte. Not big on Bronte.
No.
Nothing. Again, no disrespect to the actor or anything. Just just
Bronte, the character. I'm like,
the character is dropping.
Take
the
a step back.
Yeah, Bronte. No. Not like. Let's move Bronte aside. Maybe Austin come in. Annabeth says that she feels bad for Bronte when they are hiding in the woods, saying like, "Oh, Bronte probably hasn't got a lot of sleep." It's like, okay, excuses for Bronte. Percy knows that Clarice did not come this way. They're sneaking through the woods way, and then Tyson hears something, and we see that it is carloads of rogues and giants just in those like big black vans. What's fun is like it does feel on brand. Like it does feel like that is how they would transport.
My immediate reaction was losers.
Not taking public transit, burning fossil fuels, those big vans guzzling up diesel. Ugh. Yeah. It also, I'm in the midst of Heroes of Olympus, and it felt very the way in which the people who are advancing on.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. I'll say it vague enough just in case some people have not read.
Obviously, they have a third season and they're not going the movie route where movie 2 was, let's just also throw in books 3 through 5, sort of. But it did feel slightly like adding more drama, which I think is fun.
So this is something that Kelly had brought up to me. She was a bit concerned, saying it feels like they're taking some of the book 4, season 4 Attack on Camp stuff and bringing it in now. Like this feels a little bit like Battle of the Labyrinthy, but Now, I think that's because this season is the show and Disney's concerted effort to be like, hey, you're going to everybody lock in for the full season. Like everyone get in for the full 5. I kind of feel like that's what this is trying to do. Just like even looking at the stuff outside of the show, just all of the marketing that they've done and all of the ways that they have done the press tour and set up the cast and all these sorts of things. It felt like this season was really the big push for let's get everyone super duper invested. And book 2 is not the strongest of the 5 books, so I feel like you gotta add a little more oomph to it. And this fight here, I think, does add oomph and set up the big picture stakes in a way that gets the more casual fans, I think, locked in for the series. And I think it works.
Yeah, I do think this was the best fight scene so far that we've seen in the show.
It was really fun and like really intense and just lots of stuff going on, lots of characters and cool choreography and effects and props and stunts and captivating television.
I love that everyone is in combat clothes and Luke is wearing the most quintessentially Connecticut prep outfit in all beige. He's just planning to casually walk up that hill and murder Percy.
I do appreciate his outfit. 1, because it looks fantastic. 2, because he's not wearing boat shoes. He's wearing like combat boots. But it feels like sometimes things that I will do where you will still dress for the occasion, but as fashionably as possible. For example, the hiking boots that I bought when I was in Seattle and then I used for years and years and only just now have kind of given out on me. I bought them because they were the best looking ones. They did turn out to be incredibly comfortable and stuff too, but I wanted hiking boots that also, if I had to wear them, not just on a trail, didn't look ridiculous. So I fully understand I gotta get the fit together.
I also fully understand. I'm not the most practical person when it comes to footwear because I'd rather look cute.
Yeah, like you gotta, sure, I could be functionally dressed, but if I don't look good also, then I'm not properly dressed.
Exactly.
You gotta look the part as well. So I totally get it. And I think it's a good look. Like I joke about the popped collar because he's got like the quarter zip underneath that outer jacket. That outer jacket's really fresh. I don't know exactly what, it's like a suede kind of vibe. Like it looks really good. Watching this, I was like, okay, where's the jacket from though? Like I would get that jacket. It's really nice. And he also just looks really cozy. I don't know. It's a really good look. He's
really very nonchalant.
Yeah. Effortless style. But yeah, he looks good. Shout out to Luke. Hate that I have to give you props for stuff, but he looks great. He looks fantastic. So
maybe shout out to Kronos. I feel like Kronos is the one costuming him.
Is he though? I don't know, because Kronos isn't like fully back yet. I am excited for the Kronos art department because that was a whole thing that I'd like to poke fun of in the books where they have all their purple banners and stuff. It's like, okay, we send up a little arts and crafts table to make all these cool things. But the fit's good. The team is looking down at the enemies rising and then Tyson mimics his message. And it's this cool shot back and forth thing.
Never not just a little bit unsettling when he does that.
As it should be. It's kind of weird, but I like it. And they use it to their advantage in the way it is shot because basically you get to have the same consistent Luke speaking to them volume. It's just switching between, is it Luke saying to the crowd or Tyson saying it to our team? And we kind of see both of the reactions from the Kronos army and then also from our friends. And then they overhear Luke mention that there's a team inside the camp. So this is the first time where the spy network is referenced. Allison wants Luke to destroy the tree, but Luke says that they got to free Thalia and get her on their side. We then cut to Clarice running through the woods. She almost gets hit with an arrow. Clarice is upset, but just wants to move on, demands that these people be her escort. Chris R. is hesitant, but Clarice then shows the fleece, and then he changes his tune. We cut back to Percy and Annabeth walking through the forest, and Percy asks how Luke learned that the fleece could save Thalia, and Annabeth says, I told him, and Percy goes, why did you do that? And Annabeth explains. The only thing that Luke cares more about than Kronos is Thalia.
I think it's interesting. Percy is still a little bit suspicious of Annabeth because at some point he told Grover or someone, right, like, oh, last season she could have betrayed me and she didn't. So I'm going to trust her, but also still like feeling it out because Percy's thinking emotionally and Annabeth is thinking logically. Percy's like, we don't know this about Thalia, but Annabeth is thinking tactically. And she's like, no, like, why would she turn evil? I've only ever known her as this good-hearted person who really cared about me. And Percy's like, you don't think about the human side of it because they're like, Percy's very much the human side of the demigod divide and she's the god side. Right. It'll be interesting to see how they share those parts of each other and make each other more blended. if that
Right.
makes sense.
Totally. And I think Percy recognizes, because he's seen the way that Annabeth treats Luke, and this is definitely a book thing because of how many times Annabeth cuts Luke slack, but I think Percy is recognizing, okay, the one maybe weak spot that Annabeth has when it comes to planning is thinking the best of or too highly of the people really close to her. So maybe that's her one sort
Fatal
of
flaw, hubris.
Oh yeah, like a little bit of a spot that, you know, she might be not considering, like you're saying, the human element of it. So I think a little bit is Percy, maybe not that he doesn't trust Annabeth, but he doesn't trust Annabeth to think about the next step of it. So yeah, he asks her, how do you know that Thalia is going to join our side? And she says she just knows, which is like not a good enough answer. Like just saying like that's never a good answer.
Yeah, especially because Percy has never met her. All he knows is she's the person wearing the Kronos looking cloak. So he's
And she's
like,
very scary.
I don't know anything about this girl. She's very scary. There's a lot of lightning involved.
So much. So much zapping and lightning and dramatic lighting. But yes, Annabeth knows that Percy is stressing about this dream, and she reminds him that Kronos can mess with dreams, citing the Ares situation. But Percy is worried because Thalia is friends with Luke and Annabeth, so how is she going to choose? Having to make that choice is not something that Annabeth knows. So I think they're both making good points here, which makes it compelling.
I do think, though, what makes Annabeth more certain is the fact that in the show, both Annabeth and Thalia are black. And so I think there's like another deeper connection there where Annabeth met Thalia at such a young age. So she really looks up to Thalia as a role model, not just because she's this older figure and protector, but she's also another strong black girl who's like fending for herself. And so I think there's a deeper connection there where even though Thalia and Luke knew each other longer and Luke did try to get in her head about that, Annabeth has a different connection with Thalia that Luke doesn't have with that like identity piece. In the book, that wasn't really a factor, but I think with the show, the casting for Thalia to round out the trio of Annabeth, Thalia, and Luke, I feel like that was very intentional.
Yeah, I like that. That's a really good point to make. And I know that considering the backgrounds of the actual cast is something that this show and the showrunners take really seriously. Like as early as casting Annabeth, they had to think about, okay, she's a black girl. How does that affect her character? I'm sure they're doing the same with Thalia. I'll be very interested to see if that kind of shapes their interactions over the course of the third season and beyond. And I do trust the show to actually do it. As on the flip side, I do not trust the new Harry Potter show, which no one should watch. Like they've made Snape black, and I think they're going to not do it. It's not going to be good. I think it's going to be really bad. I don't trust them to be like, well, now it's going to be very complicated because the whole thing was that Snape was racist towards muggles, but now he's a black wizard. I don't think they're going to handle it well at all. I really do not trust
It'll
that
be the
show.
same as the way they handled the play casting, won't it?
Right, where it's
they're
just,
like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
it's not a
matter.
factor. Why would that matter? It's a magical
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. No. So anyway, let's keep talking about this good show. So Annabeth is forming a plan when a patrol stops our team, and they just don't want to drop that they are traitors, citing that they tried to steal Clarice's quest. So Percy surrenders to Ellis. And Ellis, like, dude, Ellis, come on, man. What are we doing here? When he's like, oh, we're going to take him down. It's like, this is Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase. You stand no chance.
Yeah. But I do think this adds to the piece where you see why Luke would make a compelling argument to turn people. Because of that glory piece. A lot of the campers still do care about that. And there's a lot of like internal family politics with all the gods having different like internal beefs that I think the show is playing up more than the books were talking about.
Okay, yeah, no, I like it. A thing that I also like that is different is I appreciate that the show addresses these people by first name. So Annabeth calls him Ellis, which I think also increases how actors get paid and stuff. Like if you have a named character versus an unnamed one. But I just also think it's believable because if you have friends at camp and this happens, you're going to call them by name. You're going to be wondering, Ellis, what the heck are you doing? You're not just going to vaguely not address them by name. So I think it adds
you're not going to just be like, you.
Right. It adds to the believability factor, which I think is really good. It just feels correct and earned. So I liked that a lot. Percy surrenders and says, look, just take us to Tantalus. And Ellis informs him that Tantalus is gone because he took a fireball to the face. Percy asks who is in charge of the camp. And then we cut to Mr. D singing,
oh my God.
I'm my own great. This is from the musical, right? Isn't this a thing that they sing in the musical?
I don't know. It did sound familiar.
I feel like this is a musical joke. And the mythology joke of I'm a girlfriend, or oh no, wait, or maybe this is in the books. This might be in the books because I feel like I asked this mythology question, and it has to do with the fact that he is from Zeus's thigh or whatever, right? Like that's
yeah,
right?
he got cut out.
But why would he be great? You're right. This does sound super familiar.
I don't know.
It's definitely in the Percy universe somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Mike from the future here with a quick correction. So the I am my own great grandfather bit is actually in the book. I happened to be going through the transcripts for the episode of The Newest Olympian where we discussed this, and it just happened to show up by complete chance. But yeah, it's in the Sea of Monsters book. It might also be in the musical. I'm not positive, but I know for sure it is in the book. Anyway, back to the podcast.
I'm loving his I don't give a whatever attitude because he's the party god. He just wants this to be a summer camp. Mm-hmm. He wants to entertain around the campfire. That's why he gets along with Tantalus, because Tantalus also just wants a show.
Just wants a vibe. I love that this episode brought in two things that people had been clamoring for the show to bring in: campfire songs and nectar/ambrosia. Mm-hmm. And they both get introduced. And I think it's so funny that the way that the campfire songs get introduced is in this so silly, unimportant way. Like, I'm not trying to dunk on theater kids. I respect theater kids. I probably should have been a theater kid. I did theater in college.
In another life, I would have been a theater kid.
Yeah.
If I wasn't a jock in high school.
Look, same. Absolutely same. But I do think it's funny that I feel like a lot of people are like, where's the campfire songs? Where's the campfire songs? And me, as this place where I always fluctuate as jockiest nerd or nerdiest jock, I'm like, bro, it's just not important. Like, yeah, they sing. Okay, fine. Like, we don't need to see it. So for it to finally get on screen and people are like, oh, yay, the campfire songs, and it's just played as a joke, made me really happy. But I love karaoke. It's great. We talked about this. It's all good. But no, I think it's just so funny that it's finally canonically brought in.
I also like no one is singing along.
Yes.
It's just him saying great 20 times.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. Manzukis is so fun. I love that they have really embraced him, and he seems to have embraced the show. Like, he's showing up in the podcast and stuff. Obviously, he's going to be a big player in season 3. Mr. D is seriously getting shine in the 3rd book. So I'm really looking forward to how it goes. And I don't know that I will ever have the opportunity, but if I get to actually interview Manzukis, I will be happy.
You haven't you've talked to him.
Well, I have talked to him. We had a good, lovely chat at the premiere, all set. If that's all we get, fine. But I don't think he would ever be like on the press tour, because it feels like they just do the kids on the press tour. But man, if I get to interview him, man, it'd be really
also
fun.
The patterned kimono over the already very loud patterned shirt, the short shorts.
Look,
loving everything about Mr. D.
I gotta get Kate from the costume department on the show. I've already sent her a DM on Instagram. She has not responded. I'm going to try to get her contact information and make it happen. We had a lovely chat at the premiere where she talked about like the importance of what the podcast people are doing. And I was like, hey, Kate, you want to come on the show and say exactly this monologue you just vibed about how important the podcast is as a liaison between the production team and the fans? But yeah, I mean, the fits are just delicious.
Also,
and
that little twerp snitch assistant satyr in the corner, that was Tantalus's. The vest, I need someone to explain to me why this man is wearing a vest in the summer.
Because he's a twerp.
He's not even credited with the name. He's assistant satyr.
Yeah, and that's all he should be. Like, it's one of those people, you get like this accessory you really like and then you wear it at all instances. It's like when people get fedora hats and they're like, it's always fedora season. Is it cloudy outside? Still need this fedora. Not that a fedora is like a good sun blocking hat, but I don't know. Like, we're talking about functional clothes. When do you functionally need a fedora?
Never.
When you want people to not talk to you? All right. Anyway, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but don't wear fedoras. Mr. D gets upset when Percy mentions Luke wanting to bring the Titans back, and
he does not want to remember the Titans.
Well done. Good job. Thank you, Sherry. He angrily throws the guitar over to assistant satyr, and there's something fun. I do love, like, when an instrument, especially a guitar or something similar, is angrily delivered to someone else, just like the discordant nature in which it gets grabbed just is very comedic. Like, it's always really funny when someone like quickly grabs a guitar.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really good. It's really good. Like when someone like falls on piano keys, like, it's just great. It's just very funny. So this is
I love physical
hilarious.
comedy.
But Percy gets the crowd serious by saying that Cronus is back, and Mr. D says there's no proof of this. And then Percy gives this rousing speech speech about how they are the bigger heroes. You always think that the prophecy is going to be about someone else, but no, it's about us. No bigger hero is coming. We have to take care of our own because that's what heroes do. He quotes Thalia. He quotes Sally.
So I had a question about this.
Yes, what's up?
Do we think that when Annabeth was telling Percy about Thalia, that she told him about the line she always said, we take care of our own? Or did Percy independently come up with that? And then Annabeth's like, I'm seeing more similarities between these two.
I don't know. I would have to rewatch the episodes because it's tricky. I would imagine my instinct is that she probably told him, because if you're going in the fiction of the way in which the flashbacks were used in episode 4, it was kind of like Annabeth tells Percy this story. So I feel like he's probably heard it. I would also guess that because this quote is him directly quoting Thalia and directly quoting Sally, that this does feel like, oh, I've heard these two cool quotes and I'm going to put them together.
Mm-hmm. I also like that this rousing speech he gives is the opposite of when he tried to be like, actually the coordinates came to me in a dream and Tantalus is lying, and everyone's like, go, like, sit down, know your place. You already had your opportunity to be the golden boy.
Look, this season is giving us 2 examples of failed speech and then correctly well done one. We had Clarice failed rousing speech on the boat, then good one, and now Percy in the big house failed rousing speech and now good one. He says we stand up for our home. Everyone gets really excited. We cut to the rogue forces advancing on the Bronte crew. Now Clarice is with her escort. Chris R brings up the possibility of traitors, and once he did this, I was like, all right, my doth protest too much sensor is going off. This dude is for sure about to betray them.
Also, when he named Katie, I was like, Katie Gardner, is she being introduced? It's not Katie Gardner.
It's just another Katie. It's another
Though
Katie.
she does have a last name. None of the other campers are credited with the last name.
What's Katie's last name?
Katie Yoon.
Oh, okay, cool. Look at you, Katie. I think she did a good job. She did a very good job of acting in this scene.
I was wondering if it was going to be another Chris R, Katie G situation.
It would have been very fun. Who, Chris R, that actor, has now been...
He's
demigod
Theo.
Yeah, so... I've been making jokes about how it's Chris R, but it is apparently not Chris R. It is just the actor who is now Theo. But yes, what Chris R does, our actual Chris R, is he says, I don't like the way Katie shot that arrow at you. And then he stops abruptly, asks to see Katie's bow. And Katie, the actor who plays her, does a really good job of like, wait, huh? What? What do you mean I'm a traitor?
At first, I was wondering maybe she's also a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just don't know how much Chris has infiltrated behind the scenes.
It seems to be about 50% because he screams now, and for basically this whole group, it's a 1-for-1. There's enough evil people to tackle each of the good people.
Is Katie dead? She got stabbed with bronze.
Yeah, but like in a way where she could be okay. I think it's the perfect like YA stabbing where there's no blood. It's in a place where it's like not the heart. It's like kind of stomachy, where it's done vaguely enough. Not that Katie, who we met 5 seconds ago, is important. But then he did
threaten to kill Clarice, so that's where I was like...
No, he said strike her down.
But didn't he say, I'll tell Luke you died well or something?
Oh, yeah, he for sure did that. You're right. Oopsie. But yeah, so Chris is now, they do this whole thing, and then Clarice tries to get away, but she gets slashed in the leg by Chris R. She continues on running with the fleece, but Chris R is able to knock her down, and she's surrounded. She's at sword point by like 4 people, and he starts talking trash, saying that Clarice's mistake was thinking that they were friends. He says, you don't have those. And then she can clearly see someone from out of frame and goes, oh yeah. And then we've got Annabeth and Grover on the chariot, and Grover snags the fleece.
I also really like that reference to her prophecy line. That's, again, the opposite of what happened when Percy was like, you don't have friends.
Right. And this feels like an independent thing. I don't think that Chris R knew about this being a thing. I think he just happened to strike a nerve.
Yeah, but for show purposes, good parallels.
Very good, very good. So Annabeth and Grover then arrive on the chariot. Grover snags the fleece from...
Tantalus got his dream of the chariot races coming back.
Yes, he did.
He just wasn't here to see them.
Right. And this is another thing that looked just like a little cheesy. They're not going very fast.
No.
Which is fun because it's cool because I think you actually probably have the real kids doing some of this and not necessarily stunt people. Like it's probably a mix. But like they're doing this big fast getaway and then they show and I'm like, they're not going that fast.
No.
It could just be the way it's shot. They're far away. But I was just like, this doesn't feel like the big intense getaway it looked like when it was the zoom in.
Yeah.
But look, it works. Grover's able to snag the fleece, and Luke is now at the thalia tree looking sad. I don't know. You shouldn't have poisoned it, dude.
Yeah. The black veins on the tree, they're very much giving when Venom takes over Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, wow. Very good pull. Do we think this tree will start doing jazz?
I hope so. I love jazz.
Oh, I heard a really good jazz song you should listen to. I was just like in a coffee shop here in Melbourne and they're playing this jazz song and it was really good. And I had Kelly Shazam it because she has international data and I don't. It's called Midnight Login by Nebula Breeze. When Kelly Shazammed it, it said it had only been Shazammed 15 times, which is astronomically low. I've never seen a lower Shazam number before.
Okay, I'll add it to my
Midnight Login by Nebula Breeze. It's really good. Here's the cover art. It's a cat on a laptop.
So cute.
With a dude sitting on the desk.
Also, Mitski's new album has two cats chasing each other on the cover art. So excited for this album.
Really good. Really good.
Harry Styles is releasing a new album. The title has disco in it. I'm very excited. I will be a little bit insufferable when those two albums drop.
That's fine. I think that's great. Yay. But yes, I'm always down to give free ads to Shazam, the only good app. Like it's the best app that has only as it has developed gotten better. Maybe they're doing stuff where they're secretly selling my data or whatever, but to my knowledge, Shazam has been around since the iPod Touch. It has worked so well in everything that it does. And now you can have the thing where you link it to your music playing apps so that it can auto make a playlist of all the things you Shazam. Shout out to Shazam. Now it's like easily like shortcuttable from the phone so you can quickly be like, oh, what's this song? Oh man, the best app. Oh, so good. They've done it. And then all these other ones are terrible. Like it's just all the new tech innovations. Like we stopped innovating to like do cool stuff. And it's just like, how do we extract the most capital from humans? Like we need more innovations like that. Like when that app dropped, it was like, holy crap. Finally, I can stop Googling. What's that song that goes do, 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 do.
One time in college, we were literally Googling for an hour. Bum, 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 bum. What song is that? But in Google, you're just typing ba, 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 ba.
Exactly.
We eventually found it. It was Calabria 2007 Club Mix or something. Yeah.
We've discussed this on the podcast. Oh, God. Calabria. Oh, my God. I'll get so derailed. Oh, man. So, I've said it on the show, but that was the only song I demanded our DJ play at the wedding. I was like, you have to play. You have to play this song. You must, or I'm going to withhold your payment. No, it was super good stuff. Anyway, Percy Jackson. So Luke is looking at the tree all sad like, maybe you shouldn't have stabbed the tree. The giants approach the boundary. Then Luke gives Skull Crusher permission to enter, which I love that they kept the names. And if you look at the credits, all of the giants do have the
Skull
names.
Crusher, Brain Biter.
And our favorite, Chet Jr.
Oh, that's okay. I was wondering who Chet Jr. was. I was Googling, who is Chet Jr. Percy Jackson?
That was the bit that Rick threw in there that I thought was really good, especially because one of my best friends and former roommates from college is named Chet. So anytime the name Chet comes up, it's really fun for me.
Do we think maybe there's like every 24 hours, one demigod can let in one person? Because I was wondering why he only let in Skull Crusher.
Oh, it's because I think you have to do it one at a time because he addresses him by name and then Percy yells
So he
Luke.
can't be like Skull Crusher, Brain Biter, Chet Jr.
It seems to be a one person in thing, especially because like it seems hard. We saw when Annabeth did it for Tyson. We saw Luke do it here where you kind of got to like get the lightning. I think you got to do it one by one. But speaking of the letting people in, he does drop, as has been established and as I've talked to Charlie about on this podcast before, the officially approved pronunciation of Luke's last name, according to Rick Riordan, which is Castellan.
Which, that's how I said it when I read the book, so...
Look, you were right. You were right.
I also said Polyphemus.
You were right. Look at you go. You've done
But
it.
I also did say Persephone, so...
Persephone?
For Persephone.
Oh, I was like, is this a new Persebeth thing where
No.
Percy's on his phone too much?
No, I don't understand Greek pronunciation. I used to think the name Penelope and Penelope were two different names. I thought Penelope was spelled Peneloppy.
Okay, look, I'm big on the thing where you now have words that aren't said in the Greek way, but you say them. Like instead of bicycles, you'd be like bicycles or something. Like I love seeing words like that and then saying internally, oh, if it was Greek, it could be this. So yeah, no. So we get Castellan, which is wild. And Percy just gives a good Luke from across the field. And I know that the show just posted a compilation. One of the Disney Plus accounts had this compilation of every time Annabeth's name gets said or yelled. I feel like Percy's doing a lot of like yelling people's names really loudly in this season, and that could be a compilation thing that I won't do because I have too much stuff going on. But if anyone wants to do it, go for it, and then credit me, and then invite me to be a collaborator on Instagram, and I'll accept the collaboration request. But I feel like he's doing a lot of yelling of names.
Yeah. I also love Charlie's once he hears Percy's voice, I hate your guts with every fiber of my being face.
It's so good.
The amount of
it's
spite,
really good.
The nostril flare acting this season.
All the facial acting is so good. And I am in talks with the acting coach, Andrew, to get him on the pod at some point, having a little bit of a back and forth. And I feel like I got to ask him about the facial acting because this season it's so good. And there's so many zoom ins and close ups more this season than in the past. Oh, just amazing. So yeah, Percy yells Luke from across the field. He enters the fray. Then Tyson is behind him, and then a whole mess of demigods. And then Luke points backbiter angrily at Percy.
Yeah. I'm so excited for season 4 when Tyson, or is it season 5? Whenever Tyson's rallying with peanut butter, so excited for when that's going to happen.
I think that's season 5. Season 5. That'll be really fun. It's going to be really good. Luke points his sword angrily, and then the fight begins. This is a good point for us to take our mid-roll break. The Sea of Sponsors, where we'll talk about fun updates with the podcast and the tour, all the new show dates that have been added. We're coming to America, baby. We're coming to New Zealand. We've confirmed the Auckland show. Go see us. Come through. There's also other updates. See you soon after we talk about them. Bye. Hello and welcome to the Sea of Sponsors Brisbane edition, coming to you from Brisbane, Australia, where we've got a live show tomorrow. If you're listening to this in Australia on the day that it comes out, time zones have been really fun for me. Being in the future has been very interesting, but got updates about the podcast and I've got updates about the tour and the future tour. So let's get into all of that right now. The most pressing announcement is that the Brisbane show is tomorrow in Brisbane, Australia at Big Fort Theatre. There are 5 tickets left at the time of recording, so we are probably going to sell out. So if you want to get your tickets, get them because the show is really soon and we don't have many tickets left. Now, beyond that, we've got shows coming in New Zealand. Got 3 shows in New Zealand in the very near future. January 29th, we are going to be in Christchurch, New Zealand. February 1st, we're going to be in Wellington, New Zealand. And February 5th, we're going to be in Auckland, New Zealand. You can get tickets to all these shows and the Brisbane show at newestolympian.com/live. And you can also get tickets to the America shows that I have announced up through the end of April of 2026. So starting in March and through April, we've got a good chunk of shows coming your way. So we will be in Vienna, Virginia on March 15th, Berkeley, California on April 9th, Denver, Colorado on April 12th, Atlanta, Georgia on April 20th, Charlotte, North Carolina on April 21st, and Raleigh, North Carolina on April 22nd. Trying to add some more shows in to that April run where I'm going to be in Denver and in California. Going to try to add some stuff as well. But right now you can get tickets to all those shows at newestolympian.com/live. As far as other podcast updates, I do have an interview with one of the members of the Percy Jackson writing team. We're going to be recording that one soon, and that will be probably the next thing posted. I don't have any other interviews on the books. I have other interviews, at least we've been in talks about doing the interview, but they are actively working on season 3, so they're not sure when they can hop on a microphone to talk with me. So I think what we'll probably do, unless some big thing comes through really quickly, is that we'll do that interview episode, and then that will come out sometime during next week. And then hopefully I will then get right into doing the myth check episode and get us back onto our Monday schedule. So if everything goes right, I will post that bonus interview episode sometime during the week of January 26th, and then we'll get back on track in February on Monday, February 2nd with the Myth Dr. Moya episode about Mark of Athena, and then February 9th, we will get back and we'll be doing the content for the House of Hades, which is really exciting. So that is the general plan. I will, of course, post if things change. I usually post on Instagram. Shout out to the people who dealt with, and by that I mean me and everyone who was confused, the 1.5 hours in which the TNO Instagram was shut down for suspicious activity this week. I had commented on a whole bunch of posts because all of the actors and producers and directors and writers and all the people that I follow on the TNO account posted things about the finale when the finale dropped, and I was commenting on all of them, telling people they did a good job and the finale was great. And I guess I did too many too quickly, and maybe me being in a different country was also suspicious because Instagram flagged my account, suspended it. I had to prove that I was a human, wait 90 minutes for them to review my appeal, which if I failed the appeal, they would have permanently deleted my account with no chance for an appeal afterwards. And then that just would have been it. So that got back, which is good. But the other thing that was funny is at the time I had posted this reel where I asked Walker the peanut butter and jelly question, and the reel was exploding. I was like, oh my gosh, on top of all of this reel's doing really well. Now people can't see it. So follow the TNO Instagram account. That's where I post the most. And I'm probably going to be commenting a little less frequently, though, because I don't want them to think I am a spam account anymore. Another good place for updates and community is the Discord that's attached to the Patreon. If you join the Patreon at any of the TNO tiers, you can link a Discord account to it and get access to our Discord. And there's a lot of fun stuff going, and I will post things there from time to time. And honestly, Stephen Parra is very helpful there as well. He's very active with some announcement type things, because I'm not on Discord as often as he is, and he and I are in communication enough that he will provide updates. So if you want to talk to Stephen more, and Kelly's on there and Sherry's on there, it's a fun time. So if you join the Patreon, you can get access to the Discord, and that's where some updates will be as well. But speaking of the Patreon, I want to give a shout out to the folks who joined most recently. So shout out to our newest Super God tier patron, Lauren Cook, and shout out to our newest God tier patron, James Alexander. Thank you so much for your support. May Aeolus, the god of winds, bless you that if you are traveling in a place where the wind amount really affects the enjoyment of activities that you have planned, that the winds cooperate. Please, Aeolus, let my surfing in New Zealand be good. If you're all caught up in the News Olympian and you're looking for some new content to consume, you are in luck, because I make a whole bunch of content, and the content that I make, I think you would enjoy. One of the shows that I make that I think you would love is a show called Modern Muckraker. If you enjoyed the investigative journalism that I did while interviewing the cast of Percy Jackson, you will enjoy this comedic investigative journalism podcast where I play a character who's convinced he's answering the world's most important questions and takes it very seriously. But the questions we answer are things like, if you lost half of an orchestra, what remaining instruments would create the worst possible sound? And how many IHOPs can you visit and eat free pancakes at during one National Free Pancake Day? You can listen to all 4 of our season 1 episodes at modernmuck.com or by searching for Modern Muckraker on the podcasting app of your choice. And for the folks who have asked, I do have an idea, not necessarily for a second season, but at least for a 5th episode. I hope to do it, but that's going to be a way later down the road thing. Now, unless you're listening on Patreon where you get access to ad-free episodes, you're going to hear words from a few sponsors who make it feasible for me to be a full-time podcaster. Some of those ads will be read by me, and others of them won't be. The ones that aren't read by me are inserted locally, so if you live in Uruguay, don't be surprised if you hear an ad in Spanish. But once those ads are complete, we'll get back into this episode of the New Olympian. And we're back, and the fight is beginning, and it's really good. It's really intense, and we get trash talk, which I love. Now, this fight scene is special to me because when we were on set, this was one of the things that they showed us before we left. They were showing us like clips from the season ahead for some of the things they filmed, and they showed us this fight scene. Luke throws the trash talk of no golden fleece to save you now. He looks so angry when he does it. As a trash talker, I really loved it.
He's vibrating with anger.
It's so good. I gotta ask Charlie about how he channels this anger, because he just looks so angry. It's really, really well done. So Luke really wants to get at Percy. You know, he screams at him to try and fight him because they're like fending off other people. They're both doing really well individually, but Luke wants Percy himself. So he pushes 2 rogue demigods away to get closer to Percy, and then he kicks a 3rd into Percy. He just really wants to get at him. And then what's very fun in this fight scene,
murder on my mind.
Percy then does the disarming move to Luke that Luke did to him in the Princess Andromeda. The student has become the master. I really like it. But as cool as this is, it is not long-lived, because Luke pretty quickly gets the upper hand, disarms Percy, hits him in the head, gives him a little shell shock stuff, and then, starts punching him in the face repeatedly, breaks his nose, basically, just like blop, blop, blop. And it was so intense. I'm curious to see what this episode is rated on Disney Plus, because like there's lots of blood, there's lots of just like blah 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 blah, blow after blow after blow in the head. And this lines up with my prediction that I had at the end of the episode previously, which is that we're just getting, I'm fully evil Luke now, I'm not redeemable, I am just out for blood, and literally he appears to be so.
I mean, I thought Luke's eyes were going to be gold by the end of the season.
Oh, that's fun. That's very fun.
Because they really seem to be accelerating the Chronos Manipulator timeline, where I feel like in the books, Luke didn't turn fully evil until book 4 to me. But here it just felt like when he was ready to murder Percy, I was like, oh, okay, they're really going for it.
Well, it's interesting. I feel like they are giving Luke more complex stuff and then also making the Chronos stuff come in sooner. So maybe that's like how they balance it. Like it's coming in a little sooner with how intense the Chronos of it all is.
I also thought Allison's eyes might turn golds in the last episode.
I really thought she was going to try and do something. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was going to try to take over Luke's position.
Totally. So yeah, obviously I don't like seeing Walker get his crap wrecked, but I mean, it was good in terms of the wanting Luke to be evil Luke. Like it just like really wails on him, and it is a bit of a tough watch, and it's going to make it really fun whenever Percy does defeat Luke in battle, because we're just getting multiple instances of Luke just kicking Percy's ass. So when Percy is able to best him, it's going to be really satisfying. Really good. So after he finishes just clocking him, he then says, "You were never the one. It was always Thalia." And he's about to slash him with Backbiter, just finishing blow. But then Tyson comes in with the Trident save.
I'm now realizing the Trident versus Backbiter, eerily similar to the coin.
Ooh, I didn't pick up on that. That's really good.
Backbiter has a little like curve to it that kind of looks scythe-ish.
Right. And it does eventually, like Backbiter turns into the sword. Like, don't they melt down Backbiter? And
I don't remember.
I think they melt down, I don't know if it's Backbiter or other swords to make the scythe.
They do make the scythe, yeah.
They make the scythe, so it's like Luke's primary weapon. Like, it's there. It's totally there. But yes, Tyson saves Percy from the blow with the trident and then just smashes Luke out of the way, which is awesome.
Go Tyson.
Annabeth Grover and Clarice ride in. Go Tyson indeed. Annabeth Grover and Clarice ride in, and their glory is short-lived because Annabeth gets almost immediately hit in the shoulder with an arrow. Allison calls for the rogues to chop down the tree so that they can get the reinforcements in, going against Luke's orders. I'm really intrigued to see how this goes.
I'm curious here too, because Kronos also said something to her. And it seems like Kronos's plan is to bring Thalia back because she's older, so he can, use someone as a weapon faster. And then he also told Luke to murder Percy, so it seems like he really wants to make Thalia his champion now instead of Percy. But then Allison is like, Thalia's not coming back. I think she's worried that Thalia's going to turn Luke good again.
Oh, that's really good.
But it's really interesting to me which way. Of course, it's all very murky, but interesting decision for her to be like, let's murder Thalia too.
Yeah, I think that's just her trying to think she knows better than Luke. And I don't know that it's necessarily a Kronos thing. The vibe I always got from the books was that Kronos wanted it to be Percy, and then when he realized it wasn't going to be Percy over the course of the second book, he fully moved on to the Thalia plan, and I feel like that's where Kronos is at in the show as well. He's moved over to, let's get Thalia into my clutches. So then Percy grabs a spear and stabs the fleece, and I was like, what are you doing?
The shish kebabbing of the fleece. I can't. It's just so goofy.
It was a little goofy, and the throw was a little goofy too. Like, it was a little goofy.
When I had imagined the fleece, I don't know why, because they said it was a golden fleece, in my mind gold meant metal, so I thought it was going to be more of a chainmail looking thing and not like a bathroom toilet seat fuzzy cover.
It does have that fluffiness, and those covers are so annoying as a man, because you have to, or I guess as a woman too.
They're annoying. You gotta I don't ever want to sit on fur. Sorry, not fur, but like fabric.
Well, you're never sitting. I'm talking about the ones that like go over the lid.
Oh, I've seen ones that also go over the toilet seat.
Oh, I've never seen that. That sounds horrible. I'm talking about the ones that just go on the lid.
But yes, the ones that go over the lid too.
But then they're too fluffy, so the lid never stays up. So if I'm trying to like stand
and they
up
don't
and pee,
stay on the lid, so then
it.
You're like wrestling with it while you're trying to pee.
Yeah, so if you're sitting and peeing, you gotta like lean back. You gotta make sure that it's like not coming down. And then if you're standing peeing, you gotta like hold it up. But I had family friends who had them, and we would go to their house all the time. And it's like, I hate peeing at your house.
I'd like to know who invented that and why. What was the reason?
To torment us all. I guess it's probably someone who is on the big everyone should sit when they pee agenda, which like I know I should do for cleanliness things, but like I just can't be bothered. To do it. Can't be. But anyway, I always put I'm a good standing peer where I will always put the seat down after. Like I'm not that bad. I'm not bachelor boy letting you fall into the toilet kind of thing, but
Also with the shish kebabbing of the fleece, I had this really vivid dream once of
a coin spinning.
Exactly, but of just a plain ceramic dinner plate skewered on a wooden stake, spinning and roasting in a fire like a marshmallow.
Are you a demigod,
Don't know
Sherry?
what this means. I just have a very vivid imagination, a lot of colors up there. I had this dream recurringly for like 6 months. And then I finally decided I'm just going to make this an art project.
I love it.
I don't have the best drawing skills, so I made a collage that looks vaguely like this. And this image is still burned into my brain. I really don't know what it meant because nothing else happened other than the plate spinning and being on fire.
Hit me up when this becomes relevant, even if you're in your 50s. Just be like, oh my God, the plate, the prophecy. So Percy stabs it, gives it to Clarice and says, finish the quest, which is awesome. She throws it at the tree. It immediately starts to work its magic.
This also was a little goofy.
A little goofy. Like, is a little goofy.
I just thought the fleece was going to be a lot bigger.
I mean, it is pretty big, but yeah,
I guess I wasn't thinking about fleece as in coming from a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of fleece as fabric vaguely, which is why I was like, oh, chainmail is like metal fabric.
Mm. I get it. This was like a little goofy, but I like the sentiment of Clarice finishing the quest and Percy letting her.
She's got a strong arm to be able to throw that far.
That was when she threw it and I saw the flight trajectory of it, my physics brain was like, it has to be demigod magic because it wouldn't take this arc. Like it wouldn't
She
go
got
that
Ares'
way.
blessing for that.
It's gotta be. That's gotta be what it is. So it starts to work its magic. When they all started to run away, I was like, is Thalia gonna like explode out of the tree and this is how Allison dies? Like this is gonna be really weird. And that's how it happens. But kinda, you know, the tree starts to turn into Thalia. I did like branch turning into spear was fun.
That was
the
cool.
little sound effects were cool. Like it was good. And then we hear Thalia emerge saying, heed my words, never. And then there's this big zap. Percy falls down, passed out. Thalia falls down, passed out.
I love that she just fully fries him.
It's good. It's good. And I think other people as well. Like it seems like it wasn't just Percy.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people in the vicinity.
Seems like there's a force field situation. But Percy was definitely the direct target.
Oh, yeah. So then we get this dream chat with Percy and Poseidon's popped collar. And
when they opened that scene with the water lapping, I was really hoping Annabeth and Grover were going to be splashing Percy desperately to wake him up again.
That's what I thought it was going to be too. I thought it's just like, bring him to the Long Island Sound and just hit him with water. Like, yeah.
And also, I love the mountains of Long Island.
Well, this at least because it's this dream sense. Like they could be in Vancouver for this one. That's okay. But like, yeah, it's fun. It's one of those things where it's just because I've lived in New York and the Pacific Northwest, every time they show quote unquote Long Island, I'm like, come on.
The Pacific Northwest forests of Long Island are a little too lush.
Little too mountainous. But yes, Poseidon basically confirms the great stirring is happening, and then he says he needs his son by his side, but then perfectly right on cue, Tyson enters.
Is the word I'm looking for.
So he explains to Tyson that the forge of his brother HeFUYstus, he pronounces HeFUYstus wildly. I don't know if it's a British accent, but he says like HeFUYstus. I'm like, bro, what's going on,
It felt
Toby
like
Stevens?
he was possessed momentarily by a Greek presence.
It is interesting, though, to specifically say, because I always thought that it was a different forge. Like there's the HeFUYstus forge and then
I thought it was his forge.
That's what I thought, too. So I didn't think it was the HeFUYstus forge, but I'll have to.
Isn't it Triton's forge? No, Triton's
I don't know who's it. Triton's just there.
Triton's Ariel, the Little Mermaid's dad, right?
Yeah, and then as another side, this is one of the things where people are like, they should cast Logan Lerman as Triton. I was like, that one actually really works.
Yeah.
That would be really funny. We'll see. But yeah, he wants Tyson to go to HeFUYstus' forge and his realm, and then Tyson immediately says yes, which is great. And he says it's the least he could do for Percy. And Percy goes, huh? And Tyson explains that one day when things were really bad, he prayed to the gods for a friend and they sent him a brother. Really solid, really well done.
So sweet.
So well acted by Daniel. Like, as I've said, he does the really good, like kind of childlike sounding voice. And I don't know, just like the fighting back tears of it all. Even the CGI, like they add tears to the eye and like, you know, wincing crow's feet kind of like holding back the tears. Like it's the eye looked phenomenal in this scene. They're really working. It was good. So then Tyson says, I'm going to go get ready or wake up or yeah. So then Percy, in classic Percy form, offers help to Poseidon, and Poseidon says, your destiny lies elsewhere. And Percy knows that this is about the great prophecy and asks Poseidon, is that why you had me? It was to counteract the great prophecy.
Am I a pawn?
But then Poseidon says, there are forces more powerful than the will of the gods. Fate is one of them. And I thought he was going to be like, and Santa Jackson is the other. But no, he says, and love is the other.
What I was thinking about when he said this line was, this is going to be so niche, and Mike, you're not going to get it because you haven't been chronically online post-heated rivalry. But I was thinking, are your parents still together? Mine aren't, but maybe they still would be if they had a nice rug to bring our home together. I was like, the fleece? So basically, the actor that plays one of the main heated rivalry characters.
Middle part or curly hair? Which guy?
The Asian one.
Okay, yeah, middle part.
Yeah. And he did a little promo thing with a decor store in British Columbia. I don't even think it was official promo. It was just he was like friends with the person who owns the store or something. But it came across my feed earlier today, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And did he do this like as part of the heated rivalry thing, or was this before he was
No,
famous?
I think just like as a goofy little like video.
Okay.
Using his new popularity to promote this
so post
decor store stuff. But it's very chronically online. My entire feed on every app is now just all heated rivalry. This is how you know the phones are spying on us, because I watched the show and then immediately every single video is a heated rivalry meme.
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of stuff and I've never watched it. I shared the one meme and everyone in my DMs were like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're also on watching heated rivalry. It's like, no, I just liked the meme about being confident and self-deprecating at the same time. But anyway, Percy Jackson. So Poseidon says to Percy, never underestimate yourself. And then Percy goes, never. That's what Thalia said. And Poseidon gets a little worried and he says, brace yourself, which I think is a quote from the books. I think
it is, but it was delivered via like a piece of paper or something.
Right, from Hermes. I think that's the season 1 thing, like when he just gives him a 2-word answer in response. Like he gets a message.
It might have been at the end of season 2.
Okay.
I don't remember.
At some point, he gets a 2-word message from Poseidon and he's very upset about it.
Yeah, he's like, that's all you could give? You can't even show your face?
Mm-hmm. Percy then wakes. Apparently he's been out for 3 days. Grover says that Chiron allowed them to use the nectar in storage to heal him. And Percy is excited that Chiron has been reinstated, but we as the viewers can now be excited that nectar has been introduced. I'm loving how they did it. The whole storage thing is like, we haven't used it in the first season and most of this season because it's in storage, and now it's out because there's just some things that happen later in the series where nectar is very important. So they needed to establish it. So I think that's good that they've now let us know, hey, nectar has been introduced at some point. Fun stuff. I'm glad that it's there. I was really close to asking one of the questions that I filtered out for my junket. I was going to ask the showrunners, hey, so just no nectar and ambrosia in this show? And now I wonder what they would have said if I did ask them about that. But I deem that to be less important.
I think also the line about it being in storage, it'll still come into play when it is really important later on, but they won't be using it for mid-level or minor level injuries.
Right.
It'll be more of like a last resort dire emergency situation.
Which I think is smart. I think that's very smart.
Yeah.
So Thalia is still asleep. And then we get a great double Grover and Annabeth saying that you drool in your sleep. And I just now need every season for Percy to wake up. But it's an additional person. So in season 3, there's
every
3
season
people.
There's one more person. Next season, add Thalia. Season 4, add Tyson. Season 5, add
Clarice. Yeah.
Sure.
We need everyone. I think it's going to be really fun.
Also, I'm just really loving show Clarice over book Clarice.
I mean, I loved book Clarice. I think we're just like finally getting to see who I believed Clarice to be. And I'm really hopeful that show Clarice will not do the thing that I hated, which is when they just turn her into an Achilles allegory at the end.
Yeah.
Show Clarice is so fun. So fun. Really, really good stuff. So then they're going to the big house. Grover calls Cronus' army the cronies, which I can't remember if I ever did on the show, but it's really good. The cronies is really good. And then you get a little applause for Percy, which is nice. Clarice is now in charge of the defense forces. Percy congratulates her. And then she doesn't say anything mean. So he requests a shut up Jackson. And then she delivers it in a way where I think you could interpret it as Clarice saying, shut up Jackson, to Percy saying, give me a shut up Jackson. Kind of like a shut up, I don't have to be mean to you kind of thing. It's good. Percy's glad to see that Chiron is back, and Chiron shares that he regrets not explaining his Kronos connection, and then he decides to share the truth of the Thalia tale, which is a huge change. Huge change. This change is basically that Chiron watched the whole thing go down, and he was told by Zeus to lie about what actually happened. And what actually happened was that Zeus zapped away the Furies, and then Thalia talked with him, and the Furies didn't necessarily attack her even.
They emotionally attacked her.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to like manipulate. They said some stuff. They revealed like prophecy-ish
Hades
things.
is a master manipulator.
He is. And then Thalia and Zeus talk, and Thalia doesn't want to go to camp, wants to take Annabeth out of camp, wants to get her friends and not go there. Zeus wants her to go there and be this champion that people look up to and they idolize and all this. And she says that she doesn't want to be his
such
weapon.
an egomaniac.
Doesn't want to be his weapon, doesn't want to be part of this prophecy, this fake prophecy. And he goes, oh, it's real. And she goes, oh, I thought it was all lies, is the quote. He gives a great line, which works for her punk rock thing. I've tolerated this rebellious phase long enough. Like, it's really good. She doesn't want to be his weapon. And then she says, heed my words, I will never be your weapon, never. And then he zaps her into a tree. Now, this is a big change. I do like this. Because
I also like this.
The tree thing was always stupid. Like, I made fun of it on the show relentlessly. And I can see people commenting, I don't think this will happen, but maybe people will be like, Mike, you like all the changes. What's going on? Is there any change that they would make that you didn't like? But I think I've got the receipts of that. I always thought the tree thing was so stupid. Like, why doesn't he do anything else to save her?
I just didn't believe Zeus was merciful.
Oh, okay, sure. So yeah, I think like it fits with the Zeus they are trying to paint, with the story they're trying to tell about Zeus himself and some of the other gods. I think it makes more sense than, oh, I got to save her life for her valiant, brave effort. I'm going to turn her into a tree. Like, it makes more sense for him to be pissed off and be like, fine, you're a tree. And now the tree will be this idolized thing that protects camp and everyone will look up to you, blah, blah, blah. Like, it makes sense. It really makes sense. And this, I think, would be such a fun one to ask Rick about. I would love to see if he came up with this, if someone else came up with it, if it was a team effort. Like, this is a huge, huge change, but I think it makes a whole lot of sense. More so than, I saved her by making her a tree, which I've always dogged. I think it's a huge change, but I think it really fits. Like, it just feels correct. So I like that a lot. It makes it very interesting and will, I'm sure, have ramifications of that going forward.
I think also it makes sense with Zeus's level of wrath. And also you see like Thalia kind of gets that side from him.
Yeah, I like it. I really like it. And we've seen Zeus be a little more, not outlandish, but more intense. Like, he shut down the iris message thing. Like, we're getting jump more quickly to rash decisions Zeus than we saw early in the books. So I think it fits for show Zeus at the very least. So then lightning crashes, a storm rolls in, Thalia does as well. She's shocked to see that Annabeth is grown, and we don't fully get into the whole, like, the tree kept me the same age, but you can kind of assume. I'm sure they'll talk about that next season. She asks where Luke is. There's no answer.
Yeah, she's looking up and down at this blonde boy like, this isn't Luke. Who are you?
And then there's just this stare down between her and Percy. And then we get narrator Percy bookending it because he narrates the beginning. I love the bookending of the narration. Really good. You guys get nightmares, right? But not like mine, because mine just woke up. And that's the end. I think it's great. I also would love if they do what the books did, which is season 3 just opens and Percy and Thalia are just buds. Because that was so fun. I loved that so much. It was so surprising to me. It really, really shocked me. I really hope that the beginning thing is just them on the way to the dance chumming it up. Oh, God, I would love it. I would love it so much. We'll see what they do, though. We then get the post-credit scene, which you had messaged once you watched this that you were really excited about. And
I love Cersei so much.
I love it as the way that they've done
queen.
Cersei. My only negative thought on it is, what have they done to Hilla? But yeah, going full cult leader.
This is what cult leaders do. Anytime there's like a crack in the system, they change the way the system works. And they're like, actually, this is good news because now I have the accelerated course.
Exactly.
And I have a limited spot. So everyone sign up if you want this extra level of my training.
She's made statues of Percy and Annabeth. Yeah, the wink with the ding. It's really good. So it's fun.
The statues kind of look like they were carved in butter.
I wonder what they're made out of. What's funny is I follow the actor who plays Hilla on Instagram, and she had posted all this stuff, like all these different things, when the episode with her in it dropped. And one of the things was a photo from this scene, and she put in the caption and a deleted scene, and it was this. And then I watched this, and it's like, oh, I'm guessing she's in a similar situation. I don't know how screeners work, but like at the time she posted it, we didn't have access to episode 8 in terms of screeners, so maybe she's in this similar boat and she thought it was cut from the show. I wonder if there was any, like, I'd have to look back at her Instagram to see if like that's still up as part of the post or whatever, but I wonder if like any sort of Disney PR was like, hey, yo. Hey, it's Mike from the future here with an update. I did some investigative journalism, and I did see that Jasmine Vega, the actor who played Hilla, did update the caption to, instead of saying "and a deleted scene," saying "and episode 8." Now, while I've got you here in this little mid-roll break, I do have something that people will be wondering about. I'm not in this recording with Sherry going to talk about the season 3 mid-credits scene. We're already talking about the end credit scene. In our screeners, they had not put that. So if you watch the episode that's on Disney Plus, in the middle of the colorful credits portion, they splice in the awkward middle school dance scene from season 3, and that's a season 3 teaser. They're announcing that the show is coming out this year, which probably means December of this year, but still this year. And I absolutely loved it. It was so fantastic. I was freaking out because when the finale actually posted, a lot of people were tagging me, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear Mike's thoughts on that scene in the credits." And I was like, the Cersei scene? Like, so many people commented that I had to check it out. And then when I saw it, I freaked out and I lost my mind. Not going to talk about it at length in this episode. I do plan to talk about it at length in that interview that I have scheduled with one of the members of the PJO team. So for my thoughts, they will be there. But rest assured, I did see it. I did love it. I'm so stoked about it. And I want to talk about it in detail in a future episode. But yes, that's what we've got for this little Mike from the Future update. Let's get back into the podcast.
Also, if anyone else really likes cults like I do,
Sherry's starting one. Join it.
Obviously, yeah. I'm starting the introvert cult, I guess. I don't know.
Just start at the highest tier in the Patreon. That's how you get in.
Yeah. But if you want more of the cult vibes, may I recommend Wayward on Netflix starring Mae Martin. First of all, I love Mae Martin. We're going to go see Mae Martin at some point this year.
Yes, yeah. I'm so stoked.
The character who's like the cult leader figure in that show literally looks like if Cersei was 1,000 years older. You know, she's immortal, but...
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah. It's good.
The vibes are very good in that show. Well, not really, but because it's a cult.
Sure.
It's
the
fun.
Vibes you're going
It's a good show.
It's a good show. It's a good show. And so is this. And this was a good episode of the podcast as well. I got to wrap it because people might be able to hear my baby in the other room asking for eggs. I have promised that I will make eggs for breakfast for the family. So I got to do that. So very quickly, Sherry, if people want to find you doing stuff, thank you for joining as guests. If people want to find you doing stuff, where can they find you doing stuff?
You can find me doing stuff on Mike's podcasts.
Great. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm trying to be less online publicly.
Cool. But listen to this and listen to Professional Talkers, where Sherry is a recurring guest, a recurring segment starring Sherry. It's really fun. But Sherry, thank you for joining. Listeners.
Or if you live in New York and you want to be friends, DM me on Instagram.
I'm being less publicly online, but also please be my close personal friend. You're just being more intentional. But anyway,
yeah.
Sherry, thank you for joining. Listeners, thank you for listening. And until next time, when I probably do like interview stuff, that, and then the main episodes where we're going to do the Dr. Moy myth check for Margaret Athena and then get back into the House Savies, whatever the next thing you listen to is. Until then, I'll foresee you later. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of The Newest Olympian. This podcast is created, hosted, and produced by me, Mike Schubert. I also run the social media and the website. Our editor is Sherry Guo. The music is by Bettina Campamanes and Brendan Krugel, and the art is by Jessica E. Boyd. If you can't get enough of the show, you can go to thenewestolympian.com/Patreon for bonus episodes, bonus content, ad-free episodes, a whole bunch of fun stuff. If you want to interact with the community around the show, you can check out the Discord, which is available to all patrons, or we're on social media. We're at Newest Olympian on Instagram, Bluesky, and Twitter. And we've got a subreddit, reddit.com/r/thenewestolympian. You can also show your love for TNO by getting TNO merch at thenewestolympian.com/merch. Of course, I want to give a huge shout out to our producer level patrons, Kelsey Gillespie, Vicky Garcia, Frida Vikstrom, Megan Moon, Polly Burge, Nikki Harris, Tatiana Schmidt, Sandra Rose, Josh Sayer, Sam Ruby, Mrs. O'Leary, Milo Kim, Sandkopf, Rayla Matthews, Sky Mallory, Mick Walters, Grace, Ginger Spursboy, Bradimus Prime, Skylar Sisters, Scott Sheldon, Ann M. Thayer Cohen, Bella, Percy Jackson, Kit Kat Crumbs, Jim Jam Koopy, Andrea, not Andrea, Jordan Ray, Nico's Black, Vespa, Zayden Wintergate, Terry Rothfuzz, Certified Ghost King's emotional support friend, Lee Hartley, and Persasabeth. If you want to support the show in a non-monetary way, word of mouth is essential for podcast growth. You can tell a friend directly, say, hey, there's this Percy Jackson podcast I think you would like, check it out. You could leave a rating and review on whatever podcasting app you're using, or you could just talk about the show on social media. All these things really do help. I really appreciate anyone who has done so in the past, and I appreciate anyone who will do so in the future. But I'm just so thankful that you tuned into this episode, and I hope you tune into our next episode where we'll be joined by Daphne Olive from the PJO rating team to discuss season 2 and probably season 3 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. But until then, I'll see you later. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me, ASMR Mike. So I'm recording this from the closet of the place we're staying in Brisbane, and I've got the microphone inside like a little bookcase cubby dresser thing, and I'm just going to run my fingers around the side of it. I wonder what it'll sound like in the microphone. Oh, I'm not sure if that's ever found its way into an ASMR mic segment, but yeah, I sneeze in sets of 5, as I've talked about on this podcast, I believe. Anyway, thank you so much for listening.